So it's quite interesting because every once in a while, Apple will go ahead and make some sort of like a press release or some sort of release statement, and they will kind of try to sway people into using certain applications. Now, it is interesting because as of this point, if you're going to go ahead and install most applications on your iPhone, if they're vetted through their, through Apple's ecosystem, you're probably going to go ahead and, feel free to install it. Especially if it's an application that like millions and millions, potentially billions of people use throughout the world. And basically Apple is trying to go through and they were trying to like take shots at Google for their Google Chrome application. And it is actually interesting. Now, they didn't necessarily mention Google or Google Chrome in this particular advertisement, but they basically posted this advertisement on YouTube, interestingly enough, a Google-owned platform. And they basically, kind of took some shots at the, Google Chrome browser. Now, I think they were specifically hitting on kind of the replacing cookies with some other system and like a don't track me option. Like it was something like similar to that. And it is interesting because when you do go through and kind of think about it from that standpoint, like, Google Chrome is one of the most popular applications out there. It's very, very popular. People are going to go through and go out of their way to use it. And I would agree, I do think it's a really, really nice, application to use. But with that being said, there may be some issues with Apple of trying to go through and sway people from, using, Google Chrome. Now, their business, they're going to want people to use Safari instead and be outside of the Google ecosystem as much as possible. But Apple also makes money from Google, right? Google pays Apple a bunch of money for their Apple search engine, Google ads, all this stuff. I'm sure, but Google spends a bunch of money on Apple anyways. So it is interesting that there's kind of this like internal issue going on between these two companies. But the thing I would say here is that for the most part, if you're going to go through and use a particular internet browser, I still think something like Google Chrome is still, you should still install it and use it if you're planning on using it. But it is interesting with the way Apple's kind of approaching it because I'm curious to see what Apple's going to end up doing in the future with Google Chrome. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.